If you're an artist who wants your patterns or illustrations on products like greeting cards, fabrics, wall art, or dinnerware, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to be talking about what you need to consider when you design art for products for your portfolio in regard to potential manufacturing limitations like color count, file types, and standard sizes. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Silver, and I've been designing patterns and illustrations for over 20 years through staff jobs, freelance clients, and art licensing partners. On this channel, I give newer designers insights into the surface pattern and art for product industry, from tips on making stronger art collections to pitching your work to industry trends. Definitely subscribe if that sounds useful to you. So, I had a great question in my inbox a while back, and I apologize to the original asker because it's an excellent question that I definitely took forever to answer. But you know how it goes, there's a lot of topics out there. So, here was her question. Are there any manufacturing limitations that we should take into account when we design our patterns? The question asker went on to specifically ask about raster versus vector work. If you design an image for a greeting card and they want to add glitter or foil accents in some of the shapes, does the image need to be in vector for this to work? Does a rug design have to be in vector in order for it to work with their potential weaving software? Is an excellent overall question. And I love the examples she gave with her follow-up questions. I love it because it shows she's thinking about the end product that her art may be used on and considering some of the things that can be done. Understanding that some cards have glitter and how that may affect your design is something that new designers don't always think about. There's a long and short answer here that I can give to this question. I'll give you the short answer first because I know you're impatient, but definitely stick around for the additional details. So for your portfolio, before you have any specific clients or licensing deals, I think you should make the best art for the product in the way you are best able to. Use your creativity. Make what looks amazing with your full range of talents. Don't limit your colors or your execution unless it makes a stronger design. Manufacturing restrictions should not hold you back. In many cases, companies that may eventually buy or license your artwork have the ability through in-house designers or production team at the factory to translate your artwork to fit manufacturing specifications. That's the quick answer, all right? Don't hold yourself back. The longer answer is that through working with clients, you'll naturally acquire a lot of this type of knowledge. And if you want to highlight not just your artistic skills, but your technical expertise, you can go the extra mile to pose these questions directly to your clients. You'll find that every company is a little different. There isn't always a universal way that things are made. That said, you'll learn faster if you license a greeting card and the sample comes with foil embellishments, and you follow up with your art director and say, oh my gosh, just got the samples. The foil is so awesome. I've always wondered, would it be helpful if I included vector layers where I envision foil in my next designs? Armed with an answer, not only can you be more intentional about your next design for the company, but when you pitch to a different card company, you can ask if they have the budget for foil or just show art with foil mocked up where you want to see it. When I feel like I have a really good product idea or I can envision the final product, I try to convey it through a mock-up. Here's an example of a card collection I designed ages ago that was licensed multiple times. When designing the original art, I was hoping for rose gold foil and I added photorealistic texture on the art. One company used my foil suggestions and another didn't have the budget, so they instead printed the faux foil texture. You may also find that some companies can't translate your art, And if you can't give them the type of files they need, your art won't be a fit for them. But you can't learn everything you don't know in advance. The original question asker was wondering kind of how to get ahead of things. And it's impossible to know how every company is going to work because they are so different. And there are so many companies that can do that type of work for you. So I would concentrate on making really marketable work that's on trend and makes sense for the product category you're aiming for. And if you start to run into clients that are asking for file types that you don't use, that's when you can start shifting gears, right? If you start pitching your work and you are consistently finding that they're asking for layered files, or they're saying you have too many colors in your files, or it needs to be vector, if that's happening repeatedly 2-3 times, then that's when you can start saying, maybe I need to start formatting things differently. I hope that's helpful. I mean, I understand why people want to get ahead of things, and there are going to be times when you pitch your portfolio and they say, oh, we don't work like that. But you don't need to get discouraged and say, okay, now I have to learn a whole new program. Keep pitching, see what happens, because there are so many companies that can handle those type of manufacturing roadblocks. So I hope that's helpful. Excellent question. Another similar question I get a lot that this asker touched on was roster versus vector, and that age-old, do I need to know Adobe Illustrator to be a surface designer question? I answered that in another video, which I'll queue up for you right after this.
Ready to turn your passion for surface pattern design into profit? Discover the secrets to creating irresistible and marketable design collections with my course, Successful Licensing Collections. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned designer, unlock the blueprint to building a portfolio that sells, filled with expert advice on finding on-trend themes, choosing incredible palettes, and critiquing your own work to make it swoon-worthy to art directors. Click the link in the description to enroll now and take your designs to the next level.